Greetings, Patrick here. Eight Questions with. Welcome to a brand new week, the first week of June, the first show of June, and we are hitting it hard already. Um, I mean, why not, right? First of all, I want to say thank you for such a fun show a bunch of shows last week. That was a lot of fun. It's a shame that not very many people watched a few of them. I'm hoping we can, I'm open to suggestions too about improving viewership. I mean, I definitely would, I definitely am open to that. If you have any good ideas, please feel free to go to my Instagram, have Cheetah will view, or drop comments down below and let me know. Definitely, I'm open to hearing suggestions. But this is episode 446, and it is the return of the lovely Angela from Morbid Heart Designs. She will be here in about 15 minutes. And Angela is a very, very fun artist, very talented. And she creates a lot of cool things, and uh, posters, pictures, draws. She does pens. Uh, she does a lot of magnets. She is and a lot of horror icons as well. Yeah, I'm glad she's here. I went from having like no artists for a while. I think before last week, the last artist I had was Greg Scorpion on, and that had been a little bit ago. So when we had Sophia May on last week, which was an excellent interview, and wow, what a talent too. And then we got Angela today this week. Yeah, I feel pretty good. And we got to shout out a birthday, happy birthday to Stone Katz. He turned 23 this week, and Stone was on the show a while ago, and probably time to trying to see what he's been up to. Um, yeah, I saw that his mom is, of course, the actress Sadie Katz, and she had mentioned that it was his birthday, and so we definitely want to say happy birthday to Stone. Really, really talented artist in his own right. Hey Anthony, how are you? Almost to 1997. Hi Sue, how are you? I finished a new book today. I'm gonna be putting that up on my I'll be putting that up. Finished a nonfiction book. A real fast read, about 165 pages, but it's another book down, and yeah, get back into it. I'm gonna have to finish reading that Britney Spears book. I got like 40 pages into it, but it's only 290 pages. So, but like I was telling the people at the bookstore today, the library bookstore, I said I'm reading Britney Spears, and they were giving me grief about it. He says, "How is it?" I says, "It's exactly what you expect." So that got a big laugh. Hey Jim, how are you? How are you? Glad you're here. Glad you're here. Um, uh, 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 and Anthony says he's almost up to 1997. That's awesome. I hope you get there. I hope you get there within a year. That'll be good if you can get there within a year. Um, so yeah, so this week's gonna be fun. We got for June. We got tomorrow night. We have Sam Schumacher. Let's see. I'm saying this wrong. I want to say Schumacher, but I don't think that's what it is. Shoemaker. So he'll be here tomorrow night to talk about his film, Jason Goes to Indianapolis. That's right. Jason Goes to Indianapolis, and is a Friday the 13th tribute film. I don't know if that's just another term for fan film, but regardless what it is, he has managed to attract some heavy hitters to his project, including C.J. Graham and Beatrice Boppel from Nightmare on Elm Street. Of course, C.J. Graham was in Friday the 13th, the franchise, and oh, look at that! And Francisco walks through the door as I'm talking about Friday the 13th. Um, Oh, that's perfect. That's perfect, Francisco, because we're having another filmmaker come on the show tomorrow, and he has done a Friday the 13th film, but he called his movie a tribute film. I think it's just another name for fan film, right? I mean, there's nothing wrong. I think people have to learn that the term fan film these days is not a knock on it. I mean, people say fan films, they think of amateur productions. That ain't the case, boys and girls. The only difference between a fan film and a regular film is that the filmmaker making a regular film gets to make some money, whereas the director who's doing the Friday the 13th gets to make nothing. Just does it for the love of the character, love of the franchise. That's what they're making it for. Doesn't mean that their budgets are low, because we know one filmmaker who mortgaged his house to make his movie. He mortgaged his house to make his movie that he's not going to make any money off of. The movie that's so. I mean, just think about that. How much love that you have to have in order to sacrifice your house, mortgage your house to make your Friday the 13th film, knowing full well that you can't make any money back on it. You can't stream it. You can't sell it. Unless Paramount wants to buy it. You can't sell it off in the back of the trunk of the car. Um, it's a yeah, it's absolutely the case. And so I think the term when people say fan film, I hope that people don't immediately think that yeah, I mean it's amateur hour, because it ain't. Not at all. So and with Samuel, he has a cast of some very respected actors on his project. C.J. Graham, Beatrice Boppel, Heather Harlow, who's a guest on the show here. Heather's going to be in the movie. So we're going to be talking to him tomorrow night. He'll be our guest tomorrow night. And then Thursday, we have an actress, Sherry Severs, will be here with us at 8 o'clock, and we're looking forward to talking to her. And she is just starting out herself. And I said, you know what? That's the spirit of the show, right? Let's see. Oh, okay. So here's Francesco. He's telling us right here. He says he's paying $17,000 for his third movie. He spent $17,000 of his money to make the third movie, and he can't make anything back. He can't make anything back. He paid it. He paid it out for he paid it for his production of his third part of his movie, Friday the 13th, Origin of Evil. He spent $17,000 on the third part on the third movie of it, and he can't get anything back. That's just I just have so much respect for that. I feel really bad at the same time. It's just like you sort of wish, like I mentioned before, how I look at it is I think if the studios are going to allow people to make these fan films as they are, I think they should be able to come together with the filmmakers and make a deal. Um, oh, the doorbell has rang, so you know what that means. Whenever the doorbell rings, we go get our guests. We don't ever let them stay in the basement. So let's go see who we got. It might be Angela. It might be our secret guest. Let's see.
Did
Ta-da!
you did you say there was a secret guest?
I'm hoping our secret guest will show up tonight. I'm
Hi,
hoping.
Patrick. Hi, everyone. Hi,
Hi,
Cheetah.
hi, Angela. I'm so glad you are here. Yes, yes. We were talking about and this is something too. This is interesting because I want to hear your opinion about this. So we're talking about our guest tomorrow will be here. His name is Samuel Shoemaker, and I'm sure I'm killing his last name. Anyway, he is making he made a Friday the 13th film called Jason Goes to Indianapolis, and he got some heavy hitters in the movie. He's got Beatrice Boppel, who was in Nightmare on Elm Street, played Freddy's mom. C.J. Graham, who was in the franchise. Heather Harlow. So some pretty good actors in the on the project. And of course, he calls this a tribute to Friday the 13th. I was just thinking that's just another way of saying fan film, but I don't think the term. I mean, I think maybe like 10, 15 years ago, the term fan film was sort of derogatory. Sort of like a cover band playing music. It's like, oh, okay. Um, but it's not like that anymore. And it takes a lot of these people are making these movies. They're not out there with just a bottle of ketchup and a Super 8 and
Mhm.
four friends. They put some serious work in their production. Francesco, who was a filmmaker from Germany, he made a three-part Friday the 13th film, Friday the 13th Origin of Evil, three parts, and he spent $17,000 of his money to make the
That's a
third.
lot.
That's a lot of money. And the thing about it is though, he's not getting it back because you can't sell it. You can't sell it
No.
on you can't stream it. You can't
Unless he got
sell
the
it.
licensing, he can't make any money off of it.
And damn well the studios are not going to give him the license for that. So my question to you is,
Mhm.
if an artist what happens if an artist makes a copy of, say, a Rembrandt? They go inside there and they draw a Rembrandt. They don't say it's a Rembrandt, but they draw the picture of the Rembrandt and they put their name on the bottom of it, like Joe Smith. Can they sell that picture, or can they sell that out to people, or is that copyright as
Rembrandt's pretty old, so there is a public domain aspect. Like Steamboat Willie from Mickey Mouse just went into public domain, so he's fair game for anybody to use in whatever way they want. But just Steamboat Willie, not Mickey Mouse with the red pants. So I don't.
let's
It's
move it up to
complicated. But it's
let's
like
move
I do a lot of fan art myself, but I do it in my style, so there's a twist on it, which gets you around things. You have to change things a certain amount for it to be considered fan art. Um, so it's different. It's kind of fan fiction, but not fan fiction.
yeah.
I feel like there's a little bit of difference between 2D art and writing a book or writing a movie, since that's what brought up this topic. Uh, I don't think you can make money off of fan fiction, so fan movies. I mean, 50 Shades of Grey actually started out as Twilight fan fiction, and they had to go change all the names so that they could publish it.
Right.
But that
That's
started out
right.
as Twilight fan fiction.
Yes.
So it's complicated.
It is, isn't
Parody
it?
is a way to get around a lot of copyrights. Disclosure, I am not a lawyer. I've
Only
listened to
she only
lawyers.
she only she only draws like one. Hi, JJ. JJ Days in the house. Welcome. Glad you're here. Glad you're here. We are talking with our friend Angela from Morbid Heart Designs, and yeah, this is like your third time visiting us.
Yes, it's like an annual tradition.
I'm
I
gonna
look forward to it.
Did you get a chance to watch the? Because I was like, I've been looking at my calendar and I was getting sort of like bummed out because I want like, man, I haven't had any artists on here for a while, and so I was like, man, I had another metal sculptor come in, Greg
Mm.
Scorpion. Oh, he's really cool. That guy, yeah, he's really
I'll have
cool.
to go look for the interview.
Yes, he's a very nice young man. He's based in North Carolina, and he makes coins and he makes different small sculptures. I mean,
So,
he's
like, when
not
you say he
getting.
makes coins, he, like, does a negative cast of them?
Yes.
Okay.
So of course, I think you saw the interview we did with Kevin Stone, um, which I'm going to bring him back sometime soon too. Kevin Stone, that's an amazing piece. That guy was amazing. And then I have you, and then I have Marine Duty. She's going to come back. Because I was looking at the calendar and going like, man, there's no art in this. There's no artists. I got to bring some artists back. I just can't keep going like with movies. I need a change of pace. And so I got Sophia May V last week. Have
Mhm.
you ever heard of a blood painter?
I have, but more like, experimental or live art. what is the right term? Live art's not the right term. Performance art. That's the only time I've heard of blood painting.
Well, she doesn't do it for performance art. She definitely uses her own blood, but she makes it on request, or yeah, it's an amazing the picture she is showing. I thought what she did was I thought she took a little bit and then she mixed it in with with her regular paint and then did it that way, like just I didn't expect it to be literally 100% made out of blood. That's what I was like. And so when she said that last week, I was just like, get the hell out of here. That's absolutely insane. But it was absolutely gorgeous too. Uh,
It sounds
but
interesting,
I
and
was
my
gonna
brain
ask you,
goes into the decomposition of it.
I was gonna ask you, have you ever tried anything like
Mhm.
that, or would you consider to consider anything like that? No, no,
No,
me either. No, me
not with
either.
blood. I like my horror movies because I like my gore fake. I like fake blood. I couldn't be in the medical profession. I have worked in an ER, and that was rough some days.
Oh, I bet. I bet. Yeah, I bet. Um, wow. That is the definitely the that's definitely always learn something new from every guest, right?
Mhm.
Everything's always new. I'm always learning something from everybody.
But
Yeah,
you
and
definitely pick interesting people.
I like to think so. I like to think so. I mean, I think we picked some really fun people, and there was some really, they're ultra creative. That's
Mhm.
what I really look for. I really look for them for the ultra creative or the drive or the focus, on their craft. It's like they might just be getting started. To say they're just starting to paint, they're starting to make movies, they're starting to act in movies, they're starting to write. I like catching everybody right there, right when they're starting to take off,
And
because
then
it's
you get to
so
see
much
them
fun.
grow.
Yes.
Yeah, I would say the closest that it's very light compared to painting with blood is sometimes on a adult platform I paint with my boobs and my butt, but that's the closest I've gotten to something like that. So I don't even know if that counts because it's just acrylic paint.
Francesco, film director from Germany, he just said
Mhm.
he just dropped a truth bomb. He says another good reason to watch Patrick's podcast. He always has beautiful women in it. Yes, I do.
Aw.
I'm very proud of that too, Francesco. I'm very proud of that record. Yes, sir. We've had some beauties on here.
Mhm.
Yes, yes,
There's a lot of beautiful people out there.
yes. But there's a lot of pretty girls though. Um, Yeah, but but they're very creative and they're very, very talented too. Which is really it makes for the total package. To me, that's I don't know. It's like what's beauty without creativeness? I mean, you can't.
Beauty inspires creativity often. I mean, we
Um,
have a whole romance genre based around beautiful women. I hate
yeah,
romance, just saying. Really hate romance.
yeah, but see, it's just that's like eating ice cream every day. It's like after like the third dish or the third day, you're done with it. I'd rather just have the creative. I think I'd rather have the creativeness first and then the beauty afterwards.
Don't disagree as a creative.
Okay, as a creative, okay. See,
Mhm.
as long as we're on the same page. Um,
See,
so
I'm not into women romantically or anything, but they are fun to draw.
yes, I am not into women romantically because I'm a married man. I only love the one, but I can respect other women, other men, other men looking at women or women looking at other women. I can totally respect that. And our good friend John from Doomsday Crypt. Now, talk about a creative guy, super busy. John just walked through the door. He's getting ready to do his own festival. That's what I'm hearing. He's gonna
Good
be doing,
luck.
yes.
That sounds amazing.
Now he's gonna be, he's gone himself. He's worked himself from just a booth. Now he's gonna be hosting panels. Mhm.
Paneling is so much fun. I'm jealous.
And yeah, I'm
And now
jealous.
you're gonna do your own festival.
Yeah, yeah, and it's gonna be paneling. I'm jealous.
So when is
He's
Patrick gonna panel? Patrick should totally panel.
I think I should panel John's shows myself. I think I should go over there. But then again, he does have Brett Wagner, the Lost Leatherface, and Brett is a freaking natural.
But you can
Holy!
do different panels than this Brett would do.
Have you seen Brett? Have you seen Brett and John's show?
I don't know. I haven't spent a lot of time on YouTube. I've been super busy.
That's a good thing. Well, they do their
It
show. They
sucks.
do.
I can't review horror movies. I don't even have time to watch them. I'm so sad.
I'm trying to
But I'm
get there.
also living life and loving it.
That's right. See, that's more important than everything. As long as you're living a fun life, and I know that because now it's your busy time, isn't it? Because now it's
Mhm.
summertime, and our house. So let's talk about what's going on with Angela because it is summertime, and I thought when I booked the show, when I booked this, I was thinking, man, she's getting ready to launch, because it's summer. There's going to be a lot of
It's
street fairs.
crazy. It's farmer market season has started. Tomorrow is my first one at one of my local. Some of them started up in May, so it's Pride Month. But Tuesdays are my day off, my guaranteed day off of the week. So I was like, yeah, I'll spend my day off with Patrick.
That's right.
This
That's
is
right.
my I do what I want day. I do dance classes and lay around the house. I took a nap,
Did you? What was that
but I
like?
worked really hard. Oh, it was wonderful. It was only 45 minutes, but that was all I
Okay.
needed. And I made my cat cuddle with me. AKA I shut the door and she stayed on the corner of the bed because she doesn't like being shut in the room with me, but she likes being shut in rooms by herself. I don't get it.
Isn't that weird? Paladin actually is sleeping on the corner of my bed. He's sleeping on my laundry. So it's his way of saying I'm sleeping on something you should have already done already. So he's sort of
This
like my conscious with that.
this cat is the best supervisor with laundry. She does like to take naps on it while I'm trying to fold it.
Uh-huh. The one
So
thing Paladin doesn't has never did, and I'm surprised because most cats do, but when you change your sheets out and you put your sheets on, and the cat dashes underneath the sheet.
they
Paladin
don't
has never
underneath the
done.
sheets. They like the sheets in general. And it's not
I
like
don't
they're
know.
freshly washed. They've been sitting in the closet for weeks because I have rotating sets.
Right. And we had rotating sets too, and we take them out, we wash them up,
Mhm.
and then we go up there and change them out. I did that. Well, my cat was always doing it. Lori's cat never did it. Ginger was the perfect cat in that sense that she never ran underneath the sheets. Derek Jeter, though, on the other hand, all the time. And I would have to pretend like I didn't see him come in because I knew what he was going to do. So I was just talking to my wife. I would get my wife, like talking to me, and then I would blow up the sheet like this, make it really big and fluffy, and then Derek would dash underneath there, and I would pretend not to see him, and then my wife would get so pissed off. She goes, because the sheet settles down and there's this huge ass lump in the middle of it. And she knew who it was, and she goes, You're gonna tell me you didn't see him coming through the door underneath the sheet? I'm going like, no, not at all, not me. I didn't see him. He's too fast for me.
That's too funny. They get sneaky. They get super sneaky.
Oh, definitely. Hi, Professor. How are you? Glad you're here. Glad you're here. We are about ready to kick off this show. So tell us about what's been going on with you, and you're preparing for summer, like we mentioned. How many
Yes.
street fairs and how many shows are you planning to do this summer?
I actually have a weekend off this summer. I end up having 2 weekends off because one of the ones I was doing that is weekly decided they're gonna go to monthly and take June off. So I have 2 weekends off.
Mm.
And I think that's all I have off until September, middle of September.
Now, your time
That
off is
Mhm.
different from what really goes on because you're going to be using both those time off to be working to create inventory.
Yes, that is my game plan, how I've structured my year because I'm a crazy person and I know my limits and I don't register or actually follow my limits according to my husband. I'm starting to do less like events around Christmas time and start taking that time to work on what I want to work until about April, Mayish. So I have time to create or to take the time to learn new things. Like I really like to take online classes. I'm actually taking art history for fun. I'm on the second art history class, Renaissance to modern. Um, but I've been doing a lot of online drawing classes, mainly because I'm on medications that make me shaky now. So I have to figure out how I want to draw again. Still trying to figure that out. I know I said that last year, but it's an ongoing thing.
How have you been doing? Last time we talked to you, you were battling, going up and down the
Mhm.
coast, going to different doctors. Have things settled down for you now?
Yeah.
Good.
For those who weren't here last year, I got an experimental transplant of the cells that produce insulin as part of a medical study. So I am done with the medical study as far as traveling, and now I just speak with them over a meeting, a Zoom meeting every 6 months, and just give them updates uh, to help with science. I don't have to, but I was like, why not? It's every 6 months. It's an hour at the most of my day. It's way less
They, and they
commitment than what I was doing.
and they appreciate it too.
Yeah, they actually invited me to speak at their steamposium, not steamposium. I always say that because my dyslexic brain. Um, but something posium, medical study conference in September. So, does that count as a weekend off?
No, I think you'll be working. I think you're in for the greater of mankind. The greater good of mankind. So
I
are
will
you
not
going
be
to go?
doing events that weekend. I have like every time I'm like, I think I'm free. I'm like, oh no, I'm going to California.
Hey, as
I
long as
can't
they
do an
pay,
event.
as long as someone's picking up the freight, then I say you go. You know,
They're covering up the hotel. That's it. But my friend lives in the area, so we are going to go to a pole competition that's in the area and watch it. And there's a horror convention that weekend too. So I'm debating about getting a day pass.
definitely, you should definitely go. And
So
yeah, I mean, definitely go and take your art with you and put it on a hat or like a shirt or something, so people can sit there and go like, "Where'd you get that? Where'd you get from me?"
I need to do that. I don't want to carry around shirt merchandise though.
No, no,
It's
you get a shirt or a jacket, and you put all the buttons that you make of the buttons and the magnets, and you wear that out, and then people
that there
come up
you
there
go.
and they say, "Wow, where'd you get all that?" And you sit there, Morbid Heart Designs. Where are they at? Right here.
Here's
And
the
then
website. Here's the
right,
card.
right.
Take my card.
See, you could work the festival or the convention without paying the vendor table.
I like this plan. I'd probably get in trouble for
Like
it,
it.
but
No, no. Well, you know what? We'll
just do it on the
drop
down low. There.
drop John's name to say you're friends with John from Doomsday Crypt and Lost Leatherface. Brett Wagner, Lost Leatherface. Just drop their names. You're golden, guaranteed.
Every
Um,
horror convention knows them. I
see,
hope you don't
JJ,
mind, John. You're in chat. Let me know if I have your permission.
see, like a Crypticon Seattle would be tough, but Brett Wagner wants to guest there. What Brett Wagner wants, Brett Wagner gets because he is the Lost Leatherface. And he's actually genuinely one of the nicest people too. I like watching him.
I
He's
think
a
it's
good.
hilarious. The actors in the horror community are so amazing and so nice. Like Elvira, the lady who plays the nun, she was at Crypticon this year, and everybody had glowing remarks about how kind she was, and she wanted
Bonnie,
to steal all the puppies, the service animals, and be like, "It's my friend right now. It's mine."
yeah, Bonnie Aarons. Yeah,
Yes.
she would be cool to talk to. JJ wants to know if we ever been a fan of the Twilight Zone. Yes, we are big fans of the Twilight Zone. And John is laughing at the fact that we're going to drop his name in Southern California when you go there. I think it'll
Don't
work.
you know who I am? I know John,
That's
Doomsday
right.
Crypt.
That's right. And you can just make a little Doomsday Crypt personal one. Say I'm friends with John right there, and have like a Doomsday Crypt banner. Just little put bread over here, put bread on the other side, like
We can get like "Hello, my name is" stickers kind of a vibe.
hello. I know the Lost Leatherface. Uh, so I like the idea of what you're saying, though. And to me, it makes more sense because most of your business and your creativity, you do better in when the weather is warmer, right? I mean, it's easier for you to move around and to draw and to when paint settles and whatnot. It's easier to
Yeah.
create. Yes.
It's
So
fun to go out and like Just to keep your drawing skills up, it's fun to go like to coffee shops and sketch people or touristy areas. I am that crazy artist who takes a sketchbook when I travel.
That's actually that's a really a good idea though, right? How
I've
many other
moved to digital.
you did what?
I've moved to digital, so I don't actually take my sketchbook anymore. I take my iPad.
Is it the same though? I mean, don't you miss doing it by longhand?
I do. I still want to do more traditional art, but the digital has this nice stabilization feature. So if I have shaky hands day, it helps. But I still like traditional, the feel of paper and things mixing and whatnot. So just depends on the project, is what I've decided. Mixing digital and traditional projects as I can.
John is chipping in here. He says you can drop his name, but Crypticon Seattle not run by the same guy as Kansas City
That is
or Minnesota. Just
that is
just
correct.
well, I still think he has enough clout now that it doesn't matter what Crypticon it is, or it doesn't matter about the Crypticon. It doesn't matter about Spookala. Damn you, John. So we have a running gag that whoever says Spookala has to drink. Um,
Mm.
but as long as you can just drop John's name, John and Brett, and don't forget Beatrice. Can't forget Beatrice. Beatrice, DK in the B. So he has Beatrice Bopple, who played Freddy Krueger's mom on Nightmare on Elm Street. He
Oh.
does a podcast with her as well. See, John is becoming a rather he's becoming rather famous, which
Speaking of
I'm all
Freddy Krueger, my husband and I are watching Criminal Minds right now, like our unwinding kind of mental, there's not a lot going on to take in. You can just vibe with it. And our dear Freddy Krueger, dear Robert England was in it. And I was like fangirling so hard. I was like, it's Freddy, it's Freddy. There was an episode. I was so happy. My husband's like, you're such a nerd.
So Freddy's in the new season of Criminal Minds.
Not a new season. I think it was 6 or 7.
Oh,
We're on
okay.
8 right now.
Oh, you started from the beginning. Yeah.
Yeah. I've never seen all of the episodes, so we are watching all of them and sometimes something different until we get sick of it, and I can't believe we're not sick of it yet.
Now, do you do that? Do you do that as an inspiration if you watch a TV show or a movie? Do you find yourself with that virtual notepad and you're going like, because you draw, like you've drawn
Mhm.
Jaws, you Friday the 13th, you make some really cool art. Do you watch shows like that? And do you like have your pen or your iPad, and when you see an interesting character on there, do you draw it out of hand, just like drawing it while you're watching the show, and then go and expound on that in your studio?
Not Criminal Minds, not TV shows. That's definitely more what I've done in the past with movies. I have actually like a running list of new characters I need to do for my Monster Heart designs, but I haven't had time to do it. So I'm just like, all right. And I've been more inspired lately, like going to Crypticon and seeing all the cosplays and whatnot. I'm like, oh, I need to do my Tiffany heart. Oh, I need to do this one and that one. And I have like 20 that I haven't sat down to design. And I just,
Let me ask you a question, because
mhm,
I do you consider cosplay an art form?
mhm. As a
Oh,
cosplayer, yes, I do. But I'm
thank
a
you.
cosplayer, so I may be biased.
Yeah, but I'm talking to you. I'm talking to Angela the artist, not Angela the cosplayer. Is
Angela,
cosplay
the artist,
art?
considers it art. I consider a lot of things art.
Thank you. Because I interviewed a couple of cosplayers, and I put a playlist together here on my channel, and I put artists, and I'm thinking, how do I can I put cosplayers in the art? Because it's like I'm thinking art, I'm thinking like pen and brush and
Mhm.
rock and metal, and I'm thinking, but then, yeah, they make their own clothes, they make their own costume. That's art, isn't it?
It is art, but I would give them their own category, mainly because there's not a lot of crossover between art fans and cosplay fans. As far as the people who'd be interested in watching that content, they will be different audiences.
Yeah, I thought so too. I was just thinking, I don't really know if I could put my cosplayers in with my artists, because I love it. I love it, but I don't really feel like it's. I don't know. I mean, I look at what you do, and I look at a
Mm.
cosplayer, and it's like they're dressing up as a character, or they're, it's more like an actor, it's more like a scare actor or whatnot. It's not someone who I can sit there and say, oh, when you're talking to me, can you create a costume while you're talking? Whereas you and I, when we talk, sometimes you'll create something while we talk. You could draw
Mhm.
and create art.
We should do that next time.
Yeah, I was hoping that our special guest will
Mhm.
show up, and then you would draw him a little something something, but I don't know if he's making it. I don't think he is. So I'm gonna have to put a pox on him for that. Um, let's see,
A
Professor.
pox on your house.
Yeah. John says he is going to be seeing Mark Patton in Kansas City. So that means Mark Patton will probably end up being on Beatrice or the Lost Leatherface podcast with John. Um, let's see. Professor says, I personally consider cosplay art. Some cosplay designs are super intricate, and what goes in the building the one is time consuming. And John says it's definitely an art form, but is it the same as someone like an artist, a sculptor, a painter, works with wood? That's what we're trying to figure out. It's like, do you put them in a would you put them in a with that kind of artist, or is it like, I think what the answer says, it's like a separate type of
Mhm.
category,
I think it'd be like comparing writers to what I do. There's both art, but they're
or
different skill sets.
better yet, you can compare writers to fan fiction writers. One is a real writer, and the one is, yes, they're writing, but I mean it's fan fiction. No disrespect at all to cosplayers, because I totally respect the fact that they go out
Mhm.
there and work their ass and to make their costumes, and I agree, it is an art form, but I just didn't know if it was like considered art, if they're artists or are they cosplayers.
Yeah,
Um,
and I think it's like any art form. You've got your beginners, you've got your manipulators, you've got your fabricators. So it's just like
hmm,
there's a whole gambit once you start opening that door.
I had no,
Do we want to
I
get into cosplay? Could have thoughts. No, artist me's here today, not cosplay me.
now, have you? What you said you cosplays? What's the last cosplay costume that you made and you dressed up as?
I am currently working on a Maleficent cosplay from scratch, except for the headpiece because I don't want to figure that out. Mainly because I don't have time to figure that out. My best friend is amazing. She's having her first kid, and she promised I could come to the baby blessing as Maleficent. So that is a project that is taking up a lot of my time.
Are you bringing an apple with you?
No, that's Snow White.
Um,
She's the evil queen. I'm Maleficent, so that you'd have to ask her.
okay. I was
Will
trying
I
to think.
find a raven? I would love to have a raven friend come with me though.
Oh, yeah, ravens are hella smart. They're almost as smart as cats.
They will return to you. I need to befriend my local ravens. They haven't been around lately now that I'm like, okay, the outside construction on the house is done. It's time to befriend the local ravens, but they haven't been around. So that hasn't happened yet.
Ravens. People are freaky. People don't get. I mean, have you drawn your raven? I mean, has it been there long enough for you to
Mm,
actually draw it?
not local ones, but I did do a raven art piece a few years ago for Inktober. Oh, before I forget, Professor Macabro did have a question. Robin Williams in Criminal Minds, as of halfway through season 8, I would say no, but that is 2012, and I believe Robin Williams died in 2014, so it's still a possibility, but I don't know.
We do know that Bill Obrist Jr. played a villain on Criminal Minds, and his character never got caught. And we've had him on the show. Let's see. So now it's definitely an art piece. I think you see and understand more if you made it a con, or you definitely should. You should. Yeah, I have my favorite. You guys probably know this, but I do have a favorite cosplayer, and she's absolutely amazing. And I've seen her work, and I'm just blown away by it. I just I didn't know if it would be fall into more of the realm of acting, more than the realm of art or artist. That's
I would say not acting.
cosplayers.
Yeah, but most people don't stay in character. You have the oddballs that do,
Yeah,
but
some do
it's
that method acting stuff, right? They they do stay in character. I think
I've
that's sort of
never met a cosplayer who does method acting,
who does it. It does.
who does not.
Yeah, I
But
don't
I have not met every cosplayer out there.
really. I'm surprised at that because I mean
Hmm.
I do know in the Northwest though cosplay is big. I mean it's very
Hmm.
big. Um, let's see. It's definitely an RP. Yeah, I would love to see I would love to see because like I said the last convention I went to cosplay was just getting off the ground. I mean they're still paying their way into the con. That's how cosplayers were. They would dress up, spend all that money on their costume, and still pay to go inside the convention. Whereas now, uh, cosplayers now they don't need to do that. A lot of them are celebrities in their own right,
Hmm.
and the convention will sit there and say, "Yeah, we want you to come over. We want you to be part of the convention," because they walk around the floor and they cause a lot of conversations. A lot of fans go to them and talk to them. I know that some vendors use cosplayers as a sort of like a hook to get them into their table and to their,
I've
so,
booth babed before.
huh?
I have booth babed before.
Is that what it's called? Booth babed?
Hmm.
Oh, okay.
At
I
least that's what some of my friends call it, is
booth,
booth
booth,
babing.
booth babe. That's a good one. I'll have to remember that one.
Which
And
originates from a
John,
different industry. I think
you,
that's more like what car people used to do, is they'd get the sexy ladies to be the booth babes.
sure. Oh, yeah, yeah. Well, cosplayers. I mean, if someone walked up there dressed like Alpha Cherno, I'm so there. I'm there hardcore. Now, if you guys can remember what Alpha Cherno was, then that's a bonus 10 points right there. So what have you been what's new as far as what you created for this summer? I mean, have you come up with some creative new art for and pieces that people haven't seen yet?
They've seen them. They're on display at an art gallery I'm part of, but I have one here to get pictures of for my website.
Oh, that's wicked. Now, is that the Zodiac?
It is. This is the Pisces. I did all of the zodiacs.
That is
Reflections in
really
camera
cool.
are my bane of existence at this moment. Ignore my messy desk. There's nothing to see there. But there's also a lot of shit to see there.
That's
So I did
really
all of
cool.
them, and I got them on stickers, cards, and prints for the summer. I also did my alphabet monsters as skeletons. However, all my fall events decided in February that they want their booth money early, and I went, there goes all my product money. All right, let's go with the zodiacs only.
So, now when someone says they want their money earlier, that to me sort of tells me that they need the money now to cover their expenses. But I thought things were coming back normal. Like there was more street fairs, there are more showings, there's more craft shows.
Mhm.
Is that been happening? Are there more?
Yeah.
Is that now? Is that
There-
good? Is it good for competition, or is that does hurt other fairs and whatnot?
So, many questions I feel in that statement, and I don't know where to start. As far as it being good, I feel like with COVID changing, venues are more inclined to start booking out further, which means they want their money sooner. So, and a lot of venues events happen because the vendors are paying their booth fees, which is helping to secure the venue. Um, and helping with advertising and whatnot. But so I think because COVID is not really on anyone's mind anymore, and the world is back to what it's as close to what it was going to be like beforehand. It's shifting compared to a lot of my experiences with the particular groups that I'm now working with. I didn't work with them before COVID, just during and the recovery and all of that. So I think what I'm experiencing right now is more common, to be like more of a closer to a whole year out for some of these bigger events. As far as new things, there's so many new things. I'm loving it as somebody who needs more audience, wants new people. Like, you're as an artist, you're not going to have it's not reasonable to expect consistent buyers, the same people at every market. So I need to find new audience. So I'm happy that there's more things popping up, but it does create competition of where people want to go on the weekends.
Right. So I mean, it does sort of. I mean, it's good. It's good to have like 15 events going on versus say 8. It's
Mhm.
good because it gives more people to get out and a chance to see it, but it does, the pie does become a little bit smaller because now you have 15 slices versus 8, and it can be a
Especially
little
when
bit.
you're looking at more generic things like summer markets or weekend markets. They're not a niche thing that's going to try and pull in a particular audience. Like June, we have Pride events. But there are even some Pride events that are being scheduled in some cities at other times because of competition, so that people can still come and not feel like they have to pick and choose.
Now, how do you pick and choose what events you go to? Is it because how the sales have been from before, or overall the crowd interest, or the whoever runs the street fair, or the event, based on their friendliness and cooperating with you? I mean, how do you pick to go which one? Because I think any convention would be happy to have you. Um, so how do you decide what's best for you?
Conventions don't like me. People don't want to buy my art at conventions, but they love me at street fairs and
Right, that's
markets,
what I mean.
summer
That's
things.
that's what I mean. Craft
Yeah.
shows and street fairs.
Um, I want conventions to love me though.
Yeah,
It's
yeah. I'll follow up with another question on that because I do have one. But how is it now? Street fairs. I mean, do you get like I asked this before about
mhm.
like do you get called in, like with the
It
convention?
depends. I have one street fair they invited me to before COVID, invited me to come participate, and I've had the pleasure of doing that every year since we've been able to do it since COVID. But also at the same time, that's when I'm contemplating not participating in it anymore, mainly because they keep heavily increasing the number of vendors, but their attendance isn't justifying the increase.
Mm,
When so it's like, okay, this might be my last year, but we'll see. It's going to come down to, do I still make the money that I was before? Or are the increase in competition hurting my sales that it's not worth giving up that weekend and I should go do another one that I've wanted to do that's in a completely different area and go for a new audience?
do street fair event
Mm.
organizers, do they do like exit interviews after the event, like follow up with questions, send like a questionnaire saying how was your experience, how was your sales, how was your location, was it worth the price,
Mhm.
what can we do to improve it? Do any of them do that with you after an event?
Not
Did
really
they-
street fairs. I've seen that with a handful of conventions that I would do again if they weren't so far away. Like, it's not cost prohibitive for me to get a hotel or to travel every day with where I live and where that particular event is. They've done an exit interview. Um, as far as tracking sales, the only places that I've seen that do something like that are more farmer markets. But they do that for their own internal information of like, is there enough interest to keep artists or crafts, or what type of crafts, or do we need to get more options when this person can't come in? Things like that. They use it more as a way to curate their markets and make sure it's worthwhile for people to still come vend, but they don't really pay attention outside of that, like in general.
Let's see. Oh, we're talking about the spiders. I saw that too, Betty. So there's a new big spider on the East Coast, and they're flying spiders, and they're supposed to be poisonous. And now they're heading toward New York. They're huge. These things
Don't
are
know.
like,
No, can we not? Can we please not?
but that's on the East Coast. It's not coming your way. I think you guys didn't. You guys get the murder hornets? The,
That
the,
was like
the,
2 weeks. I don't even know if that was a blip on the radar. Whoever attempted
the,
to change the timeline, thanks for not actually letting them appear.
Yeah, I don't think that I don't know if they ever really hit up here. I think everybody was like, they were like ready for them. But no, I just saw this. I just saw this today in the news, and she mentioned it, and I'm like, yeah, I saw them, and I was looking at my shoe, and I'm going like, man, that's gonna make a nice splat on my shoe, or better, yeah,
The sound,
knowing
no, the
knowing
sound. I
knowing
hate spiders.
Paladin though as I do, he'll end up eating the damn thing. Yeah.
So
Um,
research if it's poisonous for cats or if it's just poisonous for humans biting, like so you
uh,
know.
they say they're venomous enough to kill pets or humans.
There we
Well,
know. We know now.
yeah, okay.
Thanks, Betty. I'm gonna
Yeah.
have new nightmares tonight.
Well, I'm just
It's
gonna
gonna be
have
like face hugger, but a spider.
but I have wide ass feet, so my shoes like this big, or, like if I hit you with it, you're not going nowhere. You know. Oh my God, I don't even know where they came from either. They're genetic. They're from
Curse your
probably,
parents. It's all their fault.
yeah, probably Tony Stark. That crazy guy. Uh, um, yeah. The professor says flying spiders and they're poisonous. Damn, nature really wants to get rid of us humans. Yeah,
We have severely pissed off Mother Nature.
definitely. So it's evolving. It's instead of mutant X, it's mutant spiders. Um, um, well, just think of just, but they are pretty. I mean, I'm sure if you saw one, I'm sure you'd be sitting there going like, "Ooh," and then you'd be sitting there going like, "Man, that's really pretty. Let me draw that for a magnet or a print."
I do have a spider, like a tarantula heart, and it's hilarious. Like
Yeah,
people love or hate spiders
I love
and
that art.
clowns. There's no in between.
So what has been new? What's new to the game? What have you created that's new other than the Zodiac that you can show us? I mean, I know you
So
got a ton of fresh.
yeah, I didn't bring my iPad up, and I should have, but I mentioned my alphabet monsters. I've done them as skeletons because a lot of people have been like, "Hey, can you make duplicates of letters so that it's like if my name's Hannah, for instance, I don't have basically the same ones over and over. I can switch them up." So I really worked hard last summer, and like every time I was traveling, I was working on it on the airplane, things like that. So I'm hoping to get them ordered uh, sometime this month since there's a lot of markets going on. I'm like, I should have the money in a few weeks, but it's not cheap to order a lot of like 26 stickers. That's not cheap.
No, no, and
Mhm.
I'm just thinking to myself about the what you said before about the competition, and it slices into your profits, and
Mhm.
it's very, it's great that you go, and it's great that there's a lot of people there, but whereas before maybe you sell 200 pieces, now with now everybody coming in, maybe you're selling 140 pieces. You're busy.
Mhm.
There's a lot more people coming to watch you, but they're not spending a lot with you because they have so many other vendors. I think
Mhm.
that's definitely something that would need to be addressed, though, especially to the vendors that invite you. When they turn around and sit there and say, "Yeah, we want you to come out and help us," to help us, with our fair. I think they should take in consideration, your opinion about the event.
Some
You
people
know,
do and some people don't. I did actually have one event. It was their first event after COVID, and it was huge. Every event that came back after COVID, it was unseen numbers, unseen sales, like highest records for everybody who was there, based off of previous performance. But a lot of people took that and went, oh, I should double my days. I should bring in more vendors. But then it's not sustainable because there was that excitement, that hype to get back out and enjoy life and see new things. But it wasn't sustainable. So some organizations didn't actually end up making it to now,
mm,
whereas some of them were they one in particular was asking me what I think, and I was like, I wouldn't make this a 2-day event. Can you guarantee you're going to get this many people to come 2 days in a row? And then you have to up my booth fees and you have to pay double. So it's like if you can't guarantee it, I would say no.
right. Right.
And I also
No,
like that event because I can work one day and have one day off with my husband.
right.
And I told her that. She goes, "That's why I like doing it one day." I'm like, "Then there's your answer, in my opinion. But you make your choice, and I will make mine with whatever the next event is."
Um, how much work now? I mean, now that you decide not to do not the, the Christmas shows.
Mhm.
How long does that get? That's got to be that's actually got to be a real blessing because that enables you to work more and build up inventory. Has that been hard to do? Because I mean, it's a catch 22. You need to go out
Mhm.
there and make a lot of money to buy the supplies to make that inventory. But if you're going out there to less events with more competition, it makes it a little bit more difficult to build the inventory, doesn't it?
But since I am an artist who has prints and stickers, it's easy for me to replenish my inventory if I need to because I just send files to my printer, give them money, and then it gets shipped to me. I am lucky in that instance that everything is not individually handmade.
Yeah.
However, it is a catch-22 with not putting myself out there and not getting the money, but I also started looking at how many hours I was putting in because everybody was extending their hours, their events were becoming longer,
Mm.
more hours, but not enough sales to justify it. But they also, like, if it was a mall event, they have to go by mall hours, for instance. So you can't just be there for 4 hours. You have to be there open to close. The amount of hours I was putting in doing those types of things was not sustainable and not feasible by myself, and I wasn't making enough to hire somebody. So it's like, okay, do I continue killing myself and maybe make $1 an hour all year or all month? Uh, You know what I mean? After product costs and booth fees, it's like, is that worth it? Working 14 hours a day to make a couple $100, whereas I can just take the time off and enjoy my family, enjoy
Um,
some holiday events.
exactly. Now, has business increased for you online? I mean,
Yeah.
do people know that Morbid Heart Designs and their website? No,
No,
really.
I suck at digital
Right?
marketing. I hate social media. I hate it. And because I hate it, I never hit the algorithm because I
What do you
don't
mean?
post enough.
What do you mean you hate it? I mean, I mean, there's two sides of it.
Mhm,
There's the side that we're doing here, talking with each other, and then there's a
mhm.
side that is like you said, it is marketing. It's part of where you have to be a business owner and you have to push yourself out there. Um,
I like it as a user to talk with amazing people, but I hate having to do the content creation side of it, the marketing side of it, the numbers side of it.
yeah,
It's a lot.
yeah. I was hoping that. Hey, Larry, how are you? Let's see. Oh, they're still talking about the spiders. Uh, uh, we let's see. Yeah, they're
Oh,
sharing.
thanks, Professor.
They're sharing the spider out. Larry was a horde tuber of the month. And he also went down to Texas Frightmare and became a member of Rorschach's Roughnecks because he got to meet Michael.
Congratulations, Larry. I need to start following that again. I do miss horror YouTuber of the month stuff.
Uh, yep. He got to be he got to go down there and become a roughneck because he got to meet Michael Ironside from Starship Troopers. That's right.
That
Uh,
is a movie I deserve to watch soon. Thanks for reminding me. I've been wanting to watch it.
you never seen Starship Troopers?
I've seen it. I love that movie.
Me too. Me too. I love that movie. I love that movie, and I love like I mentioned earlier about Alfred Chernow. I was waiting for someone to drop that down in the comments. What is now? Angela's going to find out. What is Alfred Chernow? Hi, Steve. How are you? Steven is a country singer, uh, and he sings country music. I was talking about country music yesterday. It's changed. I don't even know. I don't even know anybody in country music anymore. They're all some guy called himself Jelly Roll. Um, and then some other guy was a rapper. He was a rapper, and then I guess he couldn't. I guess he couldn't rap, and so he went into country. Seriously, a guy named he calls himself Post Malone. I'm like,
Oh, I
what's
know
a
who
post?
that is.
Yeah, he was a rapper. he was like an Eminem or something like that,
I
and next thing
only
you know,
know who that is because of doing pole dance. I've been exposed to so much music I would never listen to. Post Malone is one of those.
oh, yeah, I've never even seen the guy, and then they showed him on there. He was drunk, and he's like trying to sing. He's got oh, our special guest is here. Holy hell yeah! It might be Post Malone.
It's a Hobbs.
What the
Hello, Hobbs.
Hobbs? It's the Hobbs.
Just as good as Post Malone, right?
Better than Post
No,
Malone.
no, it's better than Post Malone is definitely. That's right. Welcome,
I don't know
Hobbs.
Post
Welcome.
Malone. I know you.
Yeah, and I don't think I really want to know Post Malone. Like I said, I saw him trying to sing, and he was drunk. He had a drink in one hand, he had a cigarette in the other hand. He's trying to sing, and it's just like, what is this? Is this country music now? It's just like it was like, I thought this guy was a rapper, and I guess the only thing he raps now is Fish. That's it. That's
I think he
You're
does. I think he does
reminding
a little bit of everything. I think he does country, rap.
maybe he thinks he's Kid Rock again.
you're
I don't know.
reminding me of the time I unfortunately saw Marilyn Manson perform, which was on my bucket list. He was so drunk, it was terrible. Thank God it was also a Rob Zombie show who is an excellent performer. Go see him. Don't see Marilyn Manson.
That's
He
right. Go see Rob Zombie and his brother Don Zombie.
mhm, amazing performers.
Sloppy hand hearts for Don Zombie. Um, so yeah, so now we're going back to you're creating this. Um, has anything changed? I mean, we're talking about selling stuff online, and it's a hard. Is it hard to do? I mean, you mentioned before. Is it what makes it so hard to do, Angela? Is it just the volume of people that
It,
ask questions?
no, no one asks me questions because I don't hit the algorithm. Also, I have nightmares of one day going viral and destroying everything because that happens very frequently. It's one more to me administrative task as a business owner that I have to do. There's no joy in it for me. I do enjoy creating content because I like editing, and I've been finding more joy doing that with other creative outlets that I've embraced over the past year, like pole dancing. I've been editing videos for that, things like that. Photo shoots that I've been doing myself.
So
That's fun.
you've been branching out then. Now pole
hmm It,
dancing, does that mean pole dancing like the pole, like is that what it is? Is that pole dancing what I think it is, or is that something
does
different?
that answer your question?
Okay, so that's the okay, so that's okay. And you're dancing on that now.
hmm
He thought you
Wow.
were talking about a pull-up bar.
Well,
I
no,
might be
well,
able to do a pull up.
there's another term, and I don't really want to use that term if I could. Let's see. The professor says, Hobbs, I just took a trip to Insta and shared your scorpion art piece, which is
Thank
my side.
you.
So big fan. And Jim's eyes are huge because now I'm not sure if Jim's eyes are big because the fact that you're on a pole, or is it because his eyes are big because he saw the spider that they're talking about earlier.
I
Let me just say hello first and foremost, and welcome to our third interview. As you were one of our
mhm,
first interviews we did,
Yes,
so this is
I
like a 3-year celebration.
yes, I
yes.
look forward to it. I'm expecting an invite next year.
Oh, I can guarantee it. It'll come soon. Sooner than a year. I can promise you that. I like having you come on. I always like I said before. I always get an education of that. Now I do know that you were are you still doing other live streams on Twitch and Discord? Is that still a thing for you? Do you still have live streams where you're drawing or painting and you talk to people?
I do not currently do that on Twitch. I would like to get back to that, but I do live streams on an adult platform. So
Okay.
I still am live streaming.
Okay, so
But I'm pole
here.
dancing.
Okay. Okay, okay. Yeah, but you're
Patrick,
doing it. Okay.
it's
Yeah, well,
okay. You can
here's
talk
my
about
point
stuff
about
like
that
this,
other
okay?
fight. Now
It's okay, Patrick.
we had Christy Adams on
Mhm.
from Nightmare Toys, and she also is a purveyor of the other site. Now, when people hear
Is
that name of it,
she?
yeah, yes. But I was telling how people, like, as soon as people say that other site, they immediately start thinking like it's all adult, and it's not. You go ahead and you now do you do
Mhm.
pole dancing and do you do art as well? Do you draw on the other site?
Um, I have painted with my body on that website because of the nature of that. You cannot do that on Twitch.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
Mhm.
You were
Well,
oh,
I guess
okay.
maybe you could now on Twitch. They've changed their rules, but I'm sticking to the adult platform for that content because I don't feel comfortable with 13-year-olds having access to websites.
There was an artist that we couldn't get on the show, but we're trying to, and she could draw on her body. She would that's what she would do live, and she could draw like a horse or an animal or something like
Oh,
that.
that stuff's
And
so
she
cool,
could
like body painting.
body painting, yes. And
Yeah.
that was cool. I was sitting there, how in the hell do you do that? And she did it herself. She
It's
did
a
it on
whole
her own.
different learning, like a whole different skill set.
Right. Now, have you ever done any body art on anybody else? Or is that
I've
something
been
that
a model.
you've been a model? What's that
That's it.
what's that like? Is it just it sounds glamorous, but is it just pretty boring and mundane?
Depends on the company. I'm fortunate with the company that I was with. We had a lot of fun. Um, but it can be tedious, especially when you have like two people painting six models. That's a long wait process. Like up at 4 a.m., everybody's getting worked on. Noon is when the show begins, photos and stuff, but it's a long day.
Okay. So what led you to do the pole dancing? Is that it's just a way of you striking back against your condition, your medical problem, saying screw you, I'm still, I'm vibrant, I'm strong,
Mhm.
I'm expressive.
Actually, yes, you are very close to it. I grew up dancing. I was a competitive dancer until 12, and then I switched to competitive swimming, got pissed at my coach, and went back to artistic dance, made the dance team in high school. And then I developed diabetes, which made it hard to do a lot of that stuff without low blood sugar. Got on my
Mhm.
insulin pump, discovered on YouTube pole dance competition. I was like, I want to do that so bad, but I didn't know how to make it work in forever ago now, 15, 16, 17 years ago. Couldn't figure out how to make it work. And then last year, I was sitting here looking at ordering some new yoga shorts with pockets, and I went, wait a minute. Wait a minute. This is the solution I've been needing for over a decade. And I've been wanting to do this, and I was at a phase of let's do the things that I've wanted to do and give myself grace that I am not in physical shape and just start doing it. And now I can invert and I can do spin pole.
Everybody give this girl a hand. Everybody clap in the chat.
Uh, uh,
I will
uh, uh,
bow.
Hobbs, I don't hear you clapping over there, buddy.
Uh,
I know why, because that's because you probably got your hand full of Luna.
I'll tell you what. I'm so
Kitty, that's
proud of the
Kitty.
direction that Morbid Heart Designs, Angela, has gone in. And I'm telling you, because, I've been trying to raise funds. Be careful, guys. I might just start pole dancing myself. Watch out.
Do
Yeah,
it, do it. It's so much fun.
that's when people would end up paying you, Hobbs, not to do that.
That's the
Please
purpose.
don't ever do that again. Not
I think that
No,
was
on the
a
real note,
great
though,
plug,
I'm
Hobbs.
I can see it
extremely
now.
proud.
Hobbs, I can see Hobbs now yoga shorts and a Joe Burrow jersey.
I
Pole dance.
guarantee somebody would pay.
Mhm.
But
Yeah,
I'm telling you, I'm so proud of
Jim,
you in your
Hobbs,
direction, and I couldn't be more delighted.
Thank
uh,
you, Hobbs.
Jim is clapping at the idea of you wearing a Joe Burrow jersey and pole dancing, Hobbs.
Anyways,
Hmm. Just, I personally would just pay you not to do that. I'm starting to get Vietnam flashback thinking about that. But my whole point about this whole thing was the other website. It isn't all rated R all the time. There's people that go on there and do regular things like pole dancing or cooking or what have you. It's not all sassy. Now our friend Christy is a little bit sassy, but Angela and our other friend that we know that does it, Steve Renzinski, not sassy. You could actually subscribe to her channel and you know. But what's the rating for your alternative site?
I would put my rating at PG-13. I'm getting sassier, but I have my boundaries.
Sure, yeah, of course.
And that's the part that I just want to jump in one more. That's the part that I think is awesome, is when you can have boundaries.
Mhm.
Because it doesn't have to be nudity to be beautiful or to be
No, not at
artistic.
all.
It can
I
it
like the
can be
more
just as
artistic side.
exactly, exactly. And I'm not
Yeah.
saying it's wrong the other way, but
Mhm.
I agree that art is art. So
Mhm.
Um, Jim saying sassy is great. Yeah, that's what I call that. It's called slightly slightly more adult content. I mean, I know what the website's for. We all know by now, but it doesn't define who the person is, or necessarily you're not going to sit there and see, like hardcore shit. So, but I think it's cool. And now, have you been able to, this is one social media platform. Have you been able to promote the business on the other side as well? People know you as
No,
a pole dancer, but do they know you as the artist and they have prints and buttons and
Mhm.
all sorts of cool things to sell?
I have mentioned it. Like if I'm at my art walk and I'm like, I feel cute. Here's a picture for you guys. If you're in Seattle, I have to plug things very carefully because they actually have it in their terms of service that you cannot promote. So you can't do like brand merchandise stuff and you have to be very careful. So I can
Well,
push like I'm at this thing,
you
but I
can't
can't
promote
go buy
yourself.
my art.
You can't promote yourself.
I can promote myself, but I have to be very careful about it not coming off as like a sponsorship or a paid ad kind of a
Oh
thing.
God,
They don't allow that
yeah,
on the platform.
yeah. They've been doing that shit over here on YouTube
Mhm.
too. They've been saying, "Are you representing somebody that it's not really you?" Have you been? They have like two or three little terms there, and you have to hit there and say no. But
Mhm.
yeah. Wow, that's cool.
So
That's interesting.
just
Now,
have to be careful. So I'll be like, I'm cute today. Look at me. Look at my art in the
right,
background.
right. Well, hopefully, now. How long have you been doing? Have you been on the other site for very long? I mean, do you like it better than Twitch?
A year now.
Oh, okay.
As far as it I like that Twitch has more community involvement because people are there to hang out, whereas the other site, they are there for a purpose. I'm well aware they are there for a purpose. I can do a workout on stream.
So
You do what you want. I'm fully consenting adult who realizes the reality of it. But how
so
the platform is structured as a content creator, I love it because you can post photos or videos. You can have subscription based or you can have free. You can live stream. You don't have to live stream. You can make it a paid to access live stream. You can live stream for free and get tips. It's a beautifully built platform as like the software, the hard webware. I don't know what you'd call it. Not hardware, but
without to get into specifics, because
Mhm.
I know you have like none of our business, but I mean, has it worked out? Like has it you've been there a year? Has it worked out? I mean, people to me, I would think that if you could draw there and paint there, people would tip you in watching you do
People
that.
don't want that there though. As much as they're trying to get other content creators over there for more of the family friendly stuff, that's not what the platform built themselves on. So they don't have that audience, and I don't think they will ever get that audience, even though they do want it.
And so that's another catch 22, because I mean it'd be a perfect way to draw. It'd be a perfect platform to draw new people to buy
I would
art.
love that. I would
I want
love
one.
that.
I don't know. There's got to be some other type of market that you would think that they would allow that type of stuff. Display your art in different ways, regardless how it come across.
Hmm.
Um,
See, do body painting. That would be cool. Who would you want to see body paint? God, I don't know anybody I would want to see body paint. Uh, let's see.
There's a lot of talented people out there.
Yeah.
there's a big
Okay,
market for
it
horror
would be,
erotica too.
if I had to pick
Hmm.
two people I would like to see, like if I wanted to see you body paint, if you body painted them, there'd probably be two people I would like to see that, because I think they would be, I think it'd be really cool if you did the painting yourself, and that would probably be
His first one would be Mike Tomlin.
no, it would be Joe Burrow for you, of course. Uh, I would, that's an interesting aspect of it. Could you do body paint on the platform like
Oh
that?
yeah,
That would be interesting.
you could.
Um, let's see. The professor says sounds like a great site. I guess I'll have to check it out eventually for research purposes.
Mhm.
Now, do you go underneath your company's name on that, or or do you shield that from you
Um,
keep it separate from that?
I do have a link tree for that content where I do have my website linked, but I do try to keep them a little separate, mainly because I do a lot of family friendly events. So I don't want to create an environment if I'm promoting an event that could ban my business or cause problems. So I don't promote my pole dancing from Morbid Heart Designs, but I do promote Morbid Heart Designs subtly
Right.
from the other stuff.
Right. Okay. Okay. Well, that's a yeah. Let's see.
Can I ask a question? Can I,
Sure.
can I, do you think that if you combine the two, that it would be huge though? Instead of, I mean, do you feel like you're marketing to an audience that's younger with Morbid Heart Designs, where you couldn't just combine the two and just get crazy with it? I mean,
There's a lot of kids who like my art. I'm
okay,
surprised. I've had
okay,
many horror movie conversations with children. So because
yeah,
I use bright colors and fun characters and I make it
mm,
fun, kids
you
flock to
do,
my booth without
you
their
definitely
parents.
do.
So
I
I
get that.
was not my intended audience. It's the audience the universe blessed me with.
Isn't that something else?
Morbid Heart Designs After Dark.
Yeah. I mean, but again, I also see the health benefits from it for it too.
Mhm.
Pole dancing, that's a takes a tremendous amount of strength and endurance.
It
So
does.
yeah.
I'm so proud of my body right now. You have no idea.
The
So
professor
proud.
said that he would be going broke buying all the body paint. I would need to paint to paint his body. I don't know. I'm
I
trying
say
to.
still do it. It'll be fun.
I just think that it would be, in a way, I don't know if this is weird or not, but I mean, I mean, to promote the site, I mean, or your artwork. I mean, you could definitely get like a couple of T-shirts made up, of some of your
Mhm.
designs and whatnot, and then when you do your show, you're wearing, maybe Morbid Heart Designs, or maybe some of the art. I mean, get people to talk about that. Are you allowed to talk about any upcoming events that you're I mean, if you hate social media, but you want to use it for you, you got to make it work for you, right?
Mhm.
So,
I do
we're giving
advertise
it.
events. I am not prepared for June, and I should because there's so much going on. But I usually once a month post just a month calendar, and then I'll blast a story if I have time or remember, like, hey, I'm going to be here tomorrow, or hey, I'm here today. Here's the info. I love stories for that because then it
Okay.
doesn't bog up the feed and the pictures. Um, that's something I only care about because the algorithm tells me I should. Otherwise, it would look very different.
Now, have you met any new artists out there in the street fairs and in the crafts? Have you met any new talent that you've seen that whose works impressed you? And
I've made deeper connections with some friends that were more acquaintances. I would
That
say that.
is it. I mean, because it's pretty damn competitive, isn't it?
But it's also like I want to be busy. If I am busy selling my stuff, I don't have time to make new friends. Do I always make friends with my neighbors? Yes. You want to be on good terms with the people next to you if you need to go to the bathroom or something like that, especially because I don't have help most of the time. Um, but no, I have not had time to really go like look at things. It's usually like I run up and be like, "Hey, love you, bye. Got to get back to my
Yeah.
booth. Everybody's showing up," kind of a thing.
Well, doesn't your husband run the booth with you when you go to
No.
the event? He doesn't.
Not
Okay.
anymore. He realized one of his boundaries was that he needed time. He needed his weekends from his very cumbersome job for himself, which I totally get. So he does help me on occasion, but not all the time now, which is fine.
The professor's on his way to work. Thank you for coming in, Professor. Have a safe night at work, and we will see you. We'll see you soon. Yeah, yeah. Angela is one of the best. And the bat has flown inside the room now. The bat is here. Give it up for the bat.
Is it a
I
vampire bat or just a bat? Inquiring
You know what?
minds.
I think he's a vampire bat because his name is Alucard.
That's
Which
what I was hoping the answer would be based off of that name.
yeah, he is. He is definitely has fangs. Uh, now Jim says the bat pole. I don't know if anybody wants to see that.
I
How do we?
really want a bat onesie now and to figure out how I can safely hang upside down.
Well, Al can show you that. Al does sleep outside. He does sleep upside down. He has told me that. He said, and his wife has said that, he does sleep upside down. I was always wondering about that too, and then I got the inside info. So, like I said, so some of the artists that you've contacted with, you've gotten in to have deeper connections. Is it hard to make friends with other artists? I mean, is it like because like music is somewhat competitive, but people still hang out, bands still hang out, still talk with each other. Um, I surprisingly so. I found this out that sometimes cosplay can be a little bit jealousy. There can be some
Yeah.
jealousy there. I was not aware of that. Does that happen with you too? I mean, let's say you set up your table and you're doing great business, and the person next to you is maybe not having a great day. Can it get a little chilly between tables, between artists? Like, people come over and make comments of what you're selling versus, well, you're selling pop art, when I'm selling blood art. This, have you ever had a clash over styles or disciplines?
Not
Because
really over styles or disciplines. I wouldn't say I've ever really had a clash. I have been that jealous person where I'm like, people don't love me. I want them to love me. Why don't they love me? But I'm not gonna put that against somebody else. What that just tells me it's not my demographic. But when you first start out, or at least maybe some people might have a different experience depending on their emotional health, their understanding of themselves and how things work. Like there's a learning curve. Now I'm like, all right, this just isn't my crowd. Or if it's a regular event, I'm like, maybe it's an off day. If it's a monthly or weekly event, I now give it 3 or 4 goes before I completely cut it off as an option. Because you never know with regular events if it's going to be a good day or a bad day, because you might have competition like we were talking about. There might be weather issues if it's outside. So I always try to give it more often than not that benefit of the doubt. But then there comes a point where you do have to cut your loss. I would say I haven't had that issue personally with anybody. Doesn't mean it doesn't happen.
This is raising my hand to speak. May I ask a question?
please.
Please.
All right. 2 things.
Mhm.
I had a blast watching your Christmas 30 Days of Christmas with your friend. That was
so much
great.
fun.
2, are you thinking about coming back to YouTube to do the draw alongs like you used to do? Because those were badass. I
Yeah,
miss those.
miss those.
I miss them too. Um, I don't see that happening, unfortunately. One, at least with where I'm at with my passion for dancing, I don't have time to watch movies. And those videos were at least on a short video 10 hours of work, and that's not counting watching the movie or scripting. That was just the art and the editing. That is one reason I stopped doing them, is I wasn't getting the views to justify how much of my week was going into them. I want to come back, and I'm trying to figure out what's something easier that I could do, like trailer reactions or something like that. But I'm so
But see,
busy with everything else that I don't have the time.
the ones I remember, you were freelancing, and they would only take like 10 minutes. Like you would draw a picture of Chucky while talking about the movie.
That was time lapse. That was at least 8 hours of drawing time.
Was that really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That was at least 8 hours of drawing time.
Because you drew something for us on a one stream, and you did it within the 1 hour and a half. I still have it.
It wasn't colored though. It was just the line work.
But it's still dope as hell.
Thank you.
I'm just saying, there's a market out there, and people would pay for that stuff. And I think you could do well. And maybe I'm just giddy. Maybe we just want you to come back to the tube. But
I miss the YouTube. I miss YouTube so much. You have no idea. I miss it.
I'm thinking, Josh, that we should saddle up and raid the other site and tell people there to either buy art from Angela, like buy art now, or we're taking over the site.
Gonna hold you hostage.
We haven't done our part. We'll advertise during the midnight hour as well, and we haven't done our part to advertise as much, but we'll do that now. I just need some links and.
Links in the description box.
Oh, you said links. I thought you said winks, so I'm like.
And that actually includes.
That helps.
Our first interview that we did with Angela, which was absolutely fun as hell. I'm going to be dropping that here. It's in the description box, but you guys can check that out right here. And that is where Angela drew while we were talking, me and Hobbs and Angela, and she drew him a piece of art. He actually won it. Did we do a contest, or we just gave it to him?
It's unique. Her art is so unique, guys. For real, though, it's different. There's just something different about it. It almost looks 3D in a way. It's crazy. It's so good.
I still got. Now you still do the magnets, right?
I do have some magnets. They aren't selling, so I will not be carrying them much longer.
Oh.
Unfortunately.
How hard does it go? How hard is it to develop a new line of products? I mean, if something doesn't sell, like a magnet doesn't sell, how hard is it for you to come up with something new to try to sell?
The question is it worth replacing? That's what I'm trying to decide right now. Is it worth replacing? Is it the designs, or is it the quality of the buttons or the magnets?
I think you should draw. I think you should draw some kaiju. I think you should draw some mech. Like if you do an Alpha Journal, I would buy one right away.
I want to draw Godzilla, but he would be a cute, like chibi Godzilla. That's what my heart wants to draw. I've sketched him out.
Well, could you draw a Gigan? Because I'd buy that in a heartbeat.
Which one is that?
Let me explain the reason why this would be good too. Our friend Casey drew on Post-it notes kaiju characters, and people were paying him $5 a pop on Post-it notes. Okay, you could do it if you want to do it.
I want to do it. I'm trying.
Al says more bats. That's actually really cool. I would love to see that. I would like to see more bats too, but maybe like I think a bigger picture than on a button or you do commissions though, don't you, Angela? I mean,
I do.
Right. Now, how many commissions can you handle? Can you handle without being overloaded? Because all this is done by hand. I mean, this is all done by hand. This is not you want me to commission a bat? Let me go out there and call my printer up. I mean, you would have to sit down there and draw that yourself and take the time to do so. How long would it take you? How long does it take you to do like a normal commission? And how many can you handle at a time?
It varies greatly, like, if they want digital or traditional, if they want something big, if they want something small. I've had, 4 commissions at one time, but they were all on the smaller scale. I've done 3 this year, but they're all logos. One's abstract, so I'm still working on that because it's just not flowing, but luckily the person's, like, totally awesome to talk with, awesome to work with. They're not like, "I need it, I need it, I need it." They're like, "I want it to be happy. I want you to like it, so I trust your process." So logos go super fast. I could do a logo in a week as long as you communicate back to me in time.
Hmm, okay.
But I've taken a month on a more complicated, like, 16 by 20-inch canvas painting of a dog. I took, like, a month on that one because that's a lot more detail.
Uh-oh. There you go, Hobbs. You can have her do you can commission her to do one of Rocky.
There's so many possibilities.
Mm-hmm. Um,
Do you still have
what do
all
you,
do
what
you
do
still have all your fish and stuff, or
Yes, they're over here in the corner
oh,
now. I
okay,
redid everything for the other platform streaming. So the
okay.
fish, they're my babies, and I have a fish tank in my bedroom too with other babies.
uh, now, do you name your fish?
I haven't named all of them. I kind of name them as they've come, well, as the name comes to me. A lot of the named ones have passed, and the new replacements have not inspired a name.
Okay. I saw some guy named Brady
Mhm.
Wood or something like that. He actually saved a damn lobster from a store. His channel completely blew up overnight. It's insane. He lives
Like,
down in, I mean, yeah, he has the Leon the Lobster, and he saved it
that's
from
awesome.
oh yeah. If you type in Leon the Lobster in the search, you'll see his channel. It's absolutely amazing. He's a great photographer too. And yeah, he goes in there and he films this lobster and damn if those things don't have personalities to them. They
They all
actually they
have
are the
personality. I actually
mm,
had a crayfish, so a very small lobster. Originally he was gonna be Larry the Lobster because that tank had a SpongeBob theme to it, but he was, like, so flamboyant, I was like, "Damn, dude, you're now RuPaul. You are Ru," because he just, like, it's like, "You can't be Larry the Lobster anymore, you're getting renamed."
oh yeah, it's amazing. It's an amazing site. Um, one
I
thing I
miss
was going
him.
to talk to you before we wrap this up though, I want to hear your take on this. But artificial intelligence has been making the waves this year
Mhm.
pretty big, and I've seen there's some artists that do digital art, using AI. Um, Is that a concern to you since you're manual artist, you do everything by hand? What's your opinion about AI assisted art? Is it art or is it just
I think it depends on the person's method, and I've recently more been swayed. If you're just putting in a prompt and going with what's generated, no, that is not art. If you generate an image and you manipulate it like over and over again, you're like, take this, but I want to tweak this, this, and this, and then you go into like Photoshop and clean it up, then to me that is art because what's the difference of taking that image you had generated versus taking a photo and using Photoshop to manipulate it? So I've been swayed on if you are manipulating it and fixing it and adjusting it, then yes, that is art. But if you're just going, here's some words, give it to me, that is not.
mm, okay? So what's next for you as far as Morbid Heart Designs? When will you when's your next street fair or art fair?
I I don't have a street fair for a while. I have a farmer's market tomorrow and 2 local pride events this weekend, and I'm so excited. I am a big supporter of the community, and one of them is a giant finger to the town that was not supportive last year. I was like, "I'm gonna be there hell high or water," and I am there on Saturday, and I'm very excited to show my love for that community.
Um, Hobbs, got any questions?
Um, are you holding back anything? Are you Are we
Elaborate.
waiting for something huge to come out that you're just not telling us about? Like, are you
As
going to be
far,
like on a TV show or something? I feel like there's
I
something.
wish. I
There's
wish.
something with you. I don't know. It's just I
I
just get the
apply to the
vibe.
circle every time they open an application. Tell Netflix you want me on the circle.
Every year there's
What's
progression. It's
Thank you for noticing and commenting on that. One of my friends has said she feels like I am a butterfly in a cocoon and I'm getting ready to come out of that cocoon. I don't know when that's happened. I don't think it's happened yet. But I can see where she's going, where she's getting
but
that from. So
because you've gone through stages where it's like there's been really good times to start off, then you were sick, and then like we've been following along all these years, and like
Mhm.
I think you're peaking, and I think you're kind of getting to that level where it's like by this time next year, some big shit's gonna happen. Like I don't know
I
what,
hope so.
but
Well, I
Well, I
will
think
share this with my pole dancing. Big shit is happening this year for me. It might not be big to you, but it's big to me. I actually registered for my first pole competition this year.
that's great. See, there you go.
So that's big shit. I didn't think I'd be there so
See, there you
quickly.
go. That's big shit for sure. Guys, clap for
Mhm.
that. The big shit. That's great.
now,
November 1st.
do you have a picture that you could show us of you dancing on the? Do you have pictures of you like practicing?
I do have an Instagram for my poll. Let me grab a link if it's logged in. Instagram's been super weird with all my different everything.
Because once I
No.
get
No,
done with my stuff and I get healthy again, I'm going to start being more progressive in my life. I
do
might not
it.
pole dance, but I want to do more things and do more with my life.
Find joyous movement.
I've been trying to
Yeah.
get
That's
I've been trying to get
it.
you to go to Dayton for like the last 2 years to go out there and hang out and bring us some watch a football game or a baseball game. I mean,
Well, that would require me to have blood in my body, first and foremost. That's where I got to start. I got to
All right.
stop getting
So
transfusions.
why don't you hire Al to help you out? I mean, he's a blood bank.
He takes the blood, buddy. I need it.
Well, but he would bring it to you. You could hire him.
all right, so I'm making it complicated because I can't get a link on my computer because I don't know my password. It's on my phone. But that is my username on Instagram that I just put on the chat for my poll. You can actually see my first showcase performance. I went artistic because I wanted it to be something my dad would be comfortable watching, and I had to go into my lyrical background and just let my dancer self shine.
Did
So you can
somebody
actually see my first showcase on that
did
on
somebody
my
pin that the
Instagram.
way we can all see that? Like, I don't know if I'll be able to get to it. Somebody grab that.
What you pole dancing, Hobbs?
Oh, the link of her
Oh,
site.
Mhm.
all of her Instagram.
The hell
Yeah.
are you talking? I'm not going
I
to
was
pole
no,
dance, dude.
I was looking
Hobbs, do it.
I was looking at says
Um,
Leona says Hobbs, we're gonna do pole dance karaoke, and I just thought about your dancing video where you were dancing around a pole. You were actually our first pole dancer, Hobbs.
He's actually right.
Yeah.
It's true. I'm not afraid to cut a rug.
Yeah, you're a trendsetter, Hobbs. Let's see. Let's see on our Instagram. I don't know. Let me go take a look. I have all the links to your and I will actually put the other one if you like. I could actually put that on there as well.
that is completely up to your comfort level, sir.
I have no problem putting it up there. Let's see.
I do.
My
I thought it
life
would
is
be cool to do karaoke dancing too, though. Like, huh. Do you
Okay.
sing, Angela?
I do not sing, and if I do karaoke, I'm blackout drunk. You should take me home. But I will always be a backup dancer. Always be a backup dancer.
Let's see. I'm actually looking at
We can
your.
call it karaoke, folks.
I'm looking at your wall here, and I don't see any pole dancing action. I see a lot of cute
It's
pictures.
pinned.
Okay. Do you have more than one site?
Oh, are you looking on Instagram or where are you
Hey,
looking?
Jim, could
I'm
you
looking
send me
at
that link or somebody to my to
Morbid
my IG?
Heart Designs. Am I at the wrong page?
You are. It would not be on my Morbid Heart Designs.
Okay, what page would it be on?
It's Angela underscore Pole underscore journey. It's more of vlogging type content.
Okay.
But I've been posting more actual dance stuff lately.
And here's a
I would.
silly question: does the pole actually move on its own too at times? Because I've been to a club or two, and do
No.
they have like trick poles that like you press buttons on them and they move, or is it all based on the way that you're moving
So
specifically?
there's typically they come with two modes, static or spin. It doesn't spin on its own. That would be interesting, but also that would be like a double-edged sword. Do you want to give that control to somebody? But also it having a steady spin so you can just change tricks sounds really nice because there's a momentum thing you have to keep in mind with things. But yeah, no,
Well,
it's your
back
body weight that's usually doing the spinning.
back when I was a young Jedi, whenever I used to go visit these places every now and again,
Mhm.
I just happened to notice one of the poles was moving on its own, and I was
You
like,
sure
"Wait a
that?
minute, what am
You
I
sure that was
missing?"
a new moving Hobbs?
It could have been.
It,
I might have had one too many. Maybe it was me. I don't know.
maybe it was a stripper poltergeist.
It could have been.
I'm whenever any noise happens in my house, it's always a ghost first, creaking second. And I look at my cats and I go, "How are you acting? It's totally a ghost or it's not a ghost based off the cat's behavior."
The cat's fur is all fluffed up there, and he's like hissing, and the back is arched up. Probably a ghost. But if
No,
it's just,
they like the ghosts. They will stare at things. It's not a
Thank you,
bug. They
Jim.
will stare
I
at
have never,
corners.
I have never seen the cheetah react to anything like that. Except for domestic cats. I mean,
My
he
theory is if their heads don't pop up, unless it's super windy, then it's not a ghost. If it pops up, it's a ghost.
See, he says that, but then he takes videos of his cat this morning running around like a wild man doing the zoomies.
I did.
Silly.
Well, this time, today I put him out there as just being just chillaxing, and yeah, people seem to really like that one. I just put him down there sleeping. He was woke up and he was upside. He was his head was upside down, and he was just doing nothing. I don't think the cheetah can pole dance.
That's total poltergeist activity, though. If it was flipped upside down,
Yeah, I came up. Because like I walked up to him, and he was laying facing away from me. And then if you watch him, you'll see him arch his back and look all behind, and then you see him looking at me, but he's still upside down.
It's a
He
ghost.
didn't. He could be a Ghostbuster. I know for sure he's a centipede buster. That I know because I saw him do that.
Well,
Yeah, yeah, he cut it in half with his paw.
good. Good. It should die. It
That
should
that
be
was like that was like
squished.
that was like one of the grossest things I've ever seen. Um, all right. Does anybody have any questions for our guest, Angela, before we let her go?
throw them
Um,
down,
I,
folks.
I
Throw the
think
questions
I
out
think
there. You
part
know
of
you
it
got
too.
questions.
I think part of what's going on with you too, Angela, with the the vigor and the energy you've gotten. I think the maybe the experimental treatment that you went through. I guess it's working, right?
I don't got no energy. I fake it. I took a nap for reasons. No, the experiment is working, especially with my increase in physical activity, because I have functioning hormonal system now.
Yay!
But the meds still make me tired.
Right,
But I've
right.
learned how to deal with it and when I should push myself and when I shouldn't. I understand it more.
Let's see. Mr. Bones is here. He's gonna be firing at the Boneyard tonight at 10:15. Let's see. Mr. Bones wants to know if you like boglins.
I don't know what a boglin is.
Hobbs, want to tell him?
It's an '80s toy. Imagine like Attack of the Killer Tomatoes with arms, right?
I think you mentioned yes, I remember this. You asked me before. I still have no opinion. I've never played with one. I think
We
they're
did.
could be
We did. We
interesting.
asked her. She never had one.
I've
Yeah.
never had one. I've only heard of them during these interviews.
You know what? I still don't have a boglin either. I have no idea. Yeah, I see all these
So
boglins. What is a boglin?
Everybody
will
asks
put
this
it as
question.
to be determined until I can actually play with one. Designs are interesting, but I won't make full yes or no full thoughts until I can play with one.
That's the boggling question. All right, boys and girls. I want to thank everybody for coming out and hanging out with us tonight. We had an awesome time. And thank you for our special secret guest, Hobbs Horror, for dropping in there. Appreciate that very much.
That will
Angela, I'm
happen
so
every
excited for
time.
you. I am actually, you know what? Yeah, this is, Jim wants to know if you do tarot cards, like in draw.
I
Do you make them or do you use them?
It's funny you ask. I do my own tarot readings for myself. I don't read them for anybody else. But one of my big projects that I don't know when it's gonna start, but I wanted to start soon. When the universe says, "Here's your time," I'm gonna be starting 2 tarot deck designs. So it's a multi-year project. I'm gonna do like a evil demon inspired one and then like an angelic creature inspired one. So
See,
it's
that's
been
big
brewing.
shit. That's awesome.
I'm
That
so
would be
excited. I want time to do this project. Um, but I have some events coming up that I'm probably gonna take my giant sketch pad to start designing, but it's been brewing.
that would be very cool. By the time we talk next time, hopefully you'll have that done. We'll stay in touch.
I won't be done. Hopefully I'll have 1 or 2 done.
Okay. Well, you
There's
know what? You know what?
72
You know,
per a deck.
yeah. Just whenever you get the first card done, just let me
Mhm.
know, and then we'll post it up and we'll share it out a little bit. Let people know that what's coming down the road.
I will definitely let you know, and that's what I'm hoping to make it to Twitch. I just right now with all the events I am honoring, I am not 20, I am almost 40. I don't have the energy to work 7 days in a row for months on end. So I'm building in rest days.
I will get the because I'm sure I'll be asked, but yes, we will be getting the other site on there. We'll put that down in the description box. So if you want to go over there and watch Angela do a pole dance, and then hope maybe do some art at the same time, that'd be something. If you could pole dance and draw at the same time, or better yet, you could draw yourself when you're pole dancing.
I was like, I could draw myself pole dancing, but I
I
also don't want
seriously
to
don't
fall
think
and poke my
anybody's
eye
ever
out.
done that.
No,
I don't think it would be
take a pic.
safe.
Have your husband take a picture of you pole
Or
dancing, and then you take that picture, then you turn around and then you draw yourself doing it.
I could do that. Or just for you, Patrick, whenever I learn this particular move called Remy, which is basically sitting by a knee on the pole, I will sit there with a sketchbook just for you, and I will send you photo evidence.
Okay, I will. I will take you up on that. And Angela, Morbid Heart Designs does have a website, and you can buy magnets. Buy yourself a magnet. How much are the magnets going for now?
Depends on the size. 2 to 5, 2 to 4. I don't remember. Somewhere around there.
Well, just go to her website and buy something from it. Don't matter what it is. If you do buy something from it and take a picture of it, send it to me, and I will hype your channel up. I will hype you up. Uh, uh, yeah.
Patrick, you're so kind.
So you send me a picture of what you bought from Angela. You send me the picture of it with you in it, like, hey, look what I got, Pat. And then I will turn around. I will hype your channel here on mine.
That is
Uh,
so kind of you.
And not only will that, but Hobbs will also do that. He doesn't know. I just sprung that on Hobbs, but Hobbs is my brother from another mother,
You
so he'll
stole
do
my
it.
idea. I was going to do that anyway.
Oh, that's right. See, us Steeler boys are
If you
always
guys buy something, I will hype the shit out of you on the midnight hour.
that's right. I can. Um. Larry has a question for you. All right, all right. He says, "What's your favorite design that you've ever created, that you've ever done?"
That answer is still the same as the last time it was asked, which I think was the first interview. Hold on.
Larry's new to us.
She did do a badass Kraken
That's right.
octopus. That
Release,
was badass.
release the crack. Isn't that Chululu? Oh, yeah, that's a beautiful. I'm not sure if we saw that the first time or not. I have to go back and look for that.
I swear somebody asked me, but this one is my personal favorite for personal reasons. Personal, whatever. I said it too many times. We're dealing with it. We're going with it. This was a very big connection in my own healing process of that I am rainbows in death, hence my name, Morbid Heart Designs. It's okay to have my dark goth side and also my bubbly, I like Disney side, and I want to be a mermaid and a unicorn. It's okay to be both. So this is a melding of my brightness and then the darkness that I
Patrick's gonna go
surround
get his.
myself with horror and metal and all this shit.
Hell yeah, that's awesome.
So that one will never be for sale. I've had it as prints, but the original is never going to be for sale.
Now Patrick's gonna get his artwork that he did.
Yeah, I'm going to show you my artwork that I did from the library. So I thought about you today, Angela, because I was at the library and I was film hunting and I'm going like, and I saw this up there and I said, oh, this would be perfect for tonight. So
Yes. Oh, childhood memories.
mm-hmm, that's right.
Fun. The
I
most wonderful
used
thing.
that picture of you with
I am the only one.
I used that picture of you with Tigger and for the about the show, and then I was out there today and I saw this and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is too much of a coincidence.
I love it. One of my friends commented, she's like, "You picked the best picture." Like she was there when that was taken. She goes, "You were having so much fun that day," and I was like, "Well, actually, Patrick picked it, but yes, he has excellent taste."
Yeah, I love that picture so much. And I'm like, look at that. I mean, that was just a perfect picture.
Mhm.
You know what? When we first met you, from the time we first met you till now, I mean, if you go back and watch the first one to now, you could definitely see you have so much more energy and so much. You're much more bouncier. You're like Tigger. Um, and it's great
I'm
to
not
see.
Eeyore anymore.
I think
It wasn't that bad.
but
Teenage me was totally
it's
Eeyore.
definitely it's so amazing to see how far you've come since we first talked, and
For sure.
Anyone with chronic illnesses will relate to it. Like the chronic illness fatigue is real.
Yes,
Hell
it is.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Hell
So
yeah.
anybody going through that, my heart is with you.
Yeah. Yeah. Mine too. All right. Tomorrow night. I don't know if I'll get my special secret guest tomorrow night, but we will be back here tomorrow night at 8 o'clock, and we will be talking with filmmaker Samuel Shoemaker. I think I'm not saying that right. Schumacher will be here. He's got a new a film out called Jason Goes to Indianapolis, and it is a tribute to Friday the 13th. And we'll be here talking about that, and it features two former guests of ours. Beatrice Bappo will be in the movie, and she was here on 8 Questions With. She played Freddy Krueger's mother in the Nightmare on Elm Street movies, and Heather Harlow was also part of the movie, and she was a guest recently, and also has C.J. Graham in there as well. So we'll be talking with him tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. Then Thursday we will have Sherry Severs will be here with us, and then on Friday we have a special Friday show, and we will be talking to Jenna Dulot, a very fine actress who was in Sweet Killing Machines, and she'll be here Friday night at a special 9 o'clock start. And we're gonna have a lot of fun, and hopefully you guys can all make it. And you can go to our Morbid Heart Designs Instagram page, and on there are the dates of her upcoming shows. So if you're in the area, if you're in the Northwest, are they all in Seattle, Angela?
Around about Seattle. I do have an event tab on my website if you wanted to check that out. It is mostly up to date. I have a few new things to add.
And
but that's an admin thing I don't like doing because I just want to make things. I just want to dance and make art. That's all.
and to make art. There's nothing wrong with that. And of course, Hobbs will be back with us on Thursday night at 10:30 for the midnight hour. What are you guys watching on Thursday, Hobbs? Are you guys watching?
We're going to watch the video Dead,
Okay, there you go. We're watching the
a
video.
1987 Cheese Fest.
Super cheesy. I was hoping for Attack of the Killer Dodos, but I'll have to wait another week. So that's what's going on at the midnight hour on Hobbs Horrors channel at 10:30 on Thursday. All right, boys and girls, you guys stay there for a minute to the chat. You guys have been awesome tonight. I really, really appreciate you guys all coming out and supporting it. Without you guys, there is no show. So have a great night, and we'll see you in the Boneyard about 10:15. Peace.